Hello, this is Aravind Samvedam. I am pursuing my MTech degree in JPNC College, Mehboob Nagar. It is affiliated to JNTUH. As a part of my project work in the fulfillment of my degree, I joined in RTTC, Regional Telecom Training Center, which has been established in 1973 at Hyderabad by Department of Telecommunications in a 42-acre campus at Gachibowli IT Hub. It is an ISO certified organization. I, under the guidance of respected HOD Sri Narayana Garu, EC Department, JPNC College, Mehboob Nagar, and Sri Naresh Garu, BSNL RTTC staff, GSM Department, pursued the project of UMTS HSPA planning and optimization. To be simple, my project is all about 3G planning and optimization. Today I am going to record a session which provides in-depth knowledge of how a network is planned and optimized in pre-processing stages. BSNL uses a software called Atoll, which is designed by Force company to plan and optimize a network in pre-processing stages. Fine. Atoll has a very different platform. It provides us two options, either to create a new project or to open a file from an existing database. To create a new project, we need to choose the option from a document template. Atoll provides a document template for each technology you will be planning for. Each document template provides data and a data structure suitable for that technology. For example, the tables and fields for transmitters as well as the radio parameters available differ according to the project. As well, the objects that available are appropriate only for the technology. For example, cells available in UMTS template suit only that document template itself. Since I am working on UMTS, I choose UMTS HSPA from the list of templates which Atoll provides. Here we can see a lot of different templates which suit different applications and networks. Fine. Okay. Before we move into further details, we need to set a few parameters or properties. Yeah. In Atoll, we define two coordinate systems. Coordinate systems are used to identify or locate a position on the earth. And the two coordinate systems which are used are project coordinate system and display coordinate system. By default, same coordinate system is used. A projection is a method for producing all or part of a round body, that is earth, on a flat sheet. Here we can see a flat sheet. We produce all or a part of the earth on this sheet using this projection. In India, we use the projection of WGS84 UTM zone 44N. Okay, I select it. Actually, we have a lot of different options, but I already listed it as favorite, so I did not move into the details or options. Okay. Display. In India, we use the coordinate system of WGS84, so I selected OK. And the degree format is XX dot 5XS, that is something like 79.44445 or 17.0006. Okay. Next thing we need to do is we need to save the file. For that we go to File, Save As. We need to set a location to save the files. I want to save it as Sri UMTS. Okay, save. Fine. Now we import some data which is required. For that we need to go through File, Import. Yeah. Okay, these belong to the geographic information of the earth or place over which we are going to plan the network. Okay, geographic data includes digital terrain model DTM, clutter, vectors, text data, images, which are all saved in .index format. Digital terrain model is a geographic data file representing the elevation of ground over sea level. In RTTC Hyderabad, DTM files are stored in heights folder. Yeah. Clutter class describes land use, that is land used or covered. We know that land is usually occupied by some urbanization, vegetation, villages, dams, rivers, etc. Right? Seasonal water bodies, industries, airways, railways, bus stations, open area, etc. Clutter height describes the altitude of clutter class over the digital terrain model. That is, on what altitude the clutter classes like water bodies, dams, rivers are situated with respect to the average sea level. Vectors are contours, lines, and points like roads. We can have like airstrip, coastline, major roads, minimum roads, medium roads, national highways, other roads, etc. Fine. Now I am going to import geographic data one after the other. First I import clutter data. Actually I already have imported and saved a particular configuration of the clutter. Yeah, I want to import it. Open, import. It takes a few seconds actually. Fine. Here we can see the map of Andhra Pradesh state, formerly Andhra Pradesh state. Yeah. Here we can see the coastline and yeah, code 9 clutter classes, height, indoor loss. Yeah. Here we can see the map. Fine. Now next we import heights. That is the DTM, digital terrain model. Open. Yeah, here it belongs to the data type of altitude, so we select it and click OK. Okay. Yeah, this is the average sea level. Fine. Then we import places. Open. Places belongs to the data type of text data. Okay. Since we name a place, right? Yeah, that's all. Fine. Then we import vectors, index. As already said, everything we import should be in .index format. I mean, that is the geographic data. vectors. Okay, import. Fine, we are ready. Then to view the geographic data which we uploaded, we need to go to geo. Here we can see the data which we uploaded, like vectors. We can here set the properties of how each particular detail looks like. For example, if we want to highlight a detail, we can select the properties of it and we can change the display. We can change the color of how it looks. We are provided with a lot of options. Yeah. Yeah. Fine. Then, yeah, text data, properties, display, description. Yeah. Here we can see the names of the places. Fine. Okay. To show the details on the map, we need to select the options or the label which is to be displayed. Fine. Okay. After we click apply, will be provided with an option to also edit how the font looks like. Fine. Yeah. We can change the size or the font. Okay. Okay, fine. Then we need to uh, edit the properties of the next text data. Yeah, we need to select the display type of discrete values and description. Fine. Apply. Okay. Fine. Yeah. We can also make them to be visible or invisible by selecting the tick option. Fine. Every data we uploaded can be made visible or invisible. For example, vectors or text data. Yeah, fine. Now we have the data uploaded, but we can see them behind the clutter classes. So to bring them to the foreground, we just drag them and drop them above the information which is on the foreground. Since there is a lot of information, it takes a while. Then, yeah, we can zoom into the map using the magnifier option. Yeah, right click zooms the map in, and left click, I'm sorry, I said it in reverse. Yeah, right click zooms the map in while the left click zooms out. Fine. Fine. Then to move on to a position or place in the map, we can go through the, or we can access the option of find on map. Yeah, yeah, we can find all these details on the map by just searching. Fine. Fine. This is the area which belongs to Gachibowli. Fine. Now I'm going to plan a network in this area. Fine. To plan a network, we need to first draw the computation zone. Computation zone is a zone in which only in which the computations which are related, which are done in the software, are carried out. Fine. Yeah, computation zone. Yeah, we can draw it in two different shapes. Draw it like a polygon or draw it like a rectangle. I choose draw it in rectangle. Fine. Then we also draw the focus zone. Yeah. Fine. Okay. Since basically to provide a network, we know that the area is divided according to the hexagonal pattern. So by default, we choose to draw hexagonal pattern on the computation zone. For that, we need to click on this option. Fine. Then we can set the boundaries or area in which they are to be drawn. Fine. Yeah. On clicking the refresh button, Yeah, we can see the base stations or transmitters which are placed on the map turning into colored form. Fine. Then we can see the and locate the position of the transmitters or sites. Yeah, by clicking on the sites folder and moving into the details. Yeah. We can also view at what latitude and longitude are these sites located. For that we need to right click the sites folder and open and click the option open table. Yeah. Here we can see the longitude and latitude at which these sites are located, and also the altitude. Altitude is by default calculated by the software which uses the geographic data. Fine. Then every site will have 3 transmitters by default. Yeah, site 0, 1, 2, 3, site 1, 1, 2, 3, site 10. Yeah, it's like that. We can also view the transmitters information by right click and choosing the option open table. Fine. Now we need to enter properties and also choose some parameters. At all lets you create one or several sites and transmitters at once by using a station template. Yeah, station template is nothing but this one, dense urban 3 sectors. Here we have a list of station templates which suit the rural areas, suburban areas, urban areas, dense urban. Fine. Since I am working on setting up network in Gachibowli, Hyderabad, I chose the dense urban station template. Okay, before we proceed, we need to adjust a few settings on station template. Fine. To enter the properties of station template, we need to go to the parameters tab, radio network settings, station templates, and we need to choose the one which we chose as the default station template. Fine. Since mine is dense urban, I click it on and select the properties. Fine. Here we can see the general information. Yeah, we can also set the hexagon radius and the frequency band. Yeah. Fine. We need to select the default propagation model. Yeah. We are guided and advised to use a standard propagation model at RTTC BSNL Hyderabad. Fine. Then we need to choose the equipment of transmitter which we want to use in planning the network. Fine. To set the parameters of transmitter equipment, we need to choose the option of equipment. Fine. Here fine, we choose TMA feeder. Feeder is a cable which connects the transmitter or the antenna to the base station, and the transmitter which we use is called node B. Actually, node B is the name. I mean, in 3G base stations are referred to as node Bs. By default we use the feeder length of 30 meters for the transmission and reception both. And miscellaneous losses which may occur during the transmission and reception are set as 3 and 3 dB, and the antenna gain is also set as 3 dB. Fine. Then we need to save these parameters. To save these parameters, we need to choose commit. Fine. By default, we use 1 port for transmission and 2 for reception. Then here we can see some of the parameters like primary scrambling code, reuse distance, power, pilot power, then maximum power that can be allotted to a transmitter or site, then maximum load a site can tolerate or can serve, and the site equipment like maximum number of uplink channels and downlink channels, throughput, etc. The load conditions, fine. Then since we are working on HSPA, I choose HSPA. We choose the allocation strategy as the dynamic. Static refers to the constant or fixed, while dynamic changes with requirements. Fine. Yeah. To save all these settings, we choose enter. Yeah, fine. Now we are ready with to zoom into a particular area. We choose the magnifier option, which is provided. Fine. This is the area in which we are going to provide the network and coverage. Fine. Before we go into the details, we need to do some basic predictions, like how much area the transmitter can coverage and how much area will be covered by the signal. Yeah. To create a prediction or calculate one which is already created, we choose the predictions, right click, new prediction. Yeah, coverage by transmitter. Okay, fine. Here we can select a few settings like shadowing taken into account and display. Then okay, by clicking OK, we'll have the prediction which we created saved. Fine. Then we also choose another prediction which is coverage by signal. Okay, and the overlapping zones. Okay, then we group the transmitters by the site information, and also we collect the path loss matrices. Path loss matrices are calculated by right click on the transmitters folder, then calculate path loss matrices. Yeah. Path loss is the attenuation of power of the electromagnetic wave as it propagates through the space. Since the signal propagates through a lot of clutter, vectors and DTMs, we need to calculate this. Then to calculate the prediction, we right click on the prediction which we want to calculate and then choose the option calculate. Fine. To view it, we need to check on this. Yeah. Here we can view the information. Yeah, we can see there are the number of servers as 1. Here it's 2, 3. Yeah. Fine. Then we calculate the coverage by signal level. To view it, we click on it. Yeah. Here we can see the display which is according to the signal level, which is fine. Here the green color areas areas which are shown in green color have the signal which is greater than 100 dBm, decibels per meter. Yeah, fine. Calculator. Yeah. Yeah, here we can see the amount of area which is covered by each transmitter individually. Yeah, this transmitter covers this area of this, and the green transmitter covers the area of this. Fine. Then our next step is to allocate the neighbors. We can allocate neighbors for each cell manually, or you can let ATOL automatically allocate the neighbors. ATOL supports two types of neighbors: intra-technology neighbors, which are the cells defined as neighbors that also use UMTS and are of two categories. Intra-carrier neighbors are the neighbors which perform handover using the same carrier, and inter-carrier neighbors which perform handover using a different carrier. Then we have another type of classification which are inter-technology neighbors. These are the cells defined as neighbors which use a technology rather than UMTS. To automatically allocate intra-carrier neighbor UMTS neighbors, we go to neighbors, intra-technology, automatic allocation. Yeah. On clicking the calculate option, ATOL begins the process. It first checks validity of path loss matrices before allocation. Once calculation is complete, the new neighbors are visible under the results. Yeah, this is the results tab. We can see the new neighbors. Okay, to save this, we need to choose the option of commit. Fine, closed. Neighbors which are allocated or listed in intra-technology neighbors tab of each cell's properties. Fine. Okay, to display the neighbor relations on the map, we need to choose the option of edit relations on the map. Yeah. If we select a transmitter, we can see which form the neighbors of that particular transmitter. Fine. It's okay. Then the next step is to define the cell load. Cell load refers to the amount of data or voice which is to be provided or which is being provided in present. Okay. Fine. We by default allocate the maximum possible load which a transmitter or site can handle. To do this, we need to go to the transmitters cells open table. Yeah. Yeah, here we have the total power option. By default, the transmitter is used by transmitters or cells used by ATOL work with a total or maximum power of 43 dBm. Okay, to save it as the same for all, we go for the edit and fill down option. Dual load factor, in maximum it provides a cell can tolerate the load of 50. Fine. Fill down. So we are trying to use the resources essentially and fully. Fine. Save. Close. After the cell load and total power are defined, we allocate or we go for some particular predictions on which our optimization, pre-processing optimization is based on. We are mainly concerned with two parameters or two predictions. They are coverage by signal level and pilot quality analysis. New prediction, pilot quality analysis. Okay. Now here we are provided with a lot of options. The load conditions are to be by default used from the cells table. Then the terminal. We have two types of terminals, HSPA terminal and mobile terminal. HSPA refers to all the smartphones and mobile terminal refers to the basic models. Fine. Since nowadays most of the mobiles which have the access to internet or HSPA, we choose it by default, and the mobility at which the user might be moving. Yeah. We have to calculate mobility and the service mobility. Fine. We can choose to analyze different services and different mobilities. Since I am concerned with voice, I select the voice and mobility of 50 kilometer per hour. Then calculate. Fine. Yeah. Here we can see information which is EC by I naught. EC by I naught is the ratio of received power of the carrier to all over noise. It is a measure of the quality of signal. And the coverage by signal, yeah, it is also called RSCP, received signal carrier power. It is the power received by end user after despreading or correlation. Fine. Fine. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to optimize the network. Okay, to optimize the network which we planned, we can go through the option ACP, automatic cell planning. Okay, we need to first set the properties. Fine. Okay, since we are working on customer satisfaction based services, I select high precision and the extensions of multi-story and EMF exposure. Set template optimization objective reconfiguration. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Number of iterations. Iterations refers to changes. Yeah. Here we need to, and we can also have a view of how much cost control is possible. We have some different options. Yeah. Objectives. Fine. Our target coverage of RSCP received signal carrier power is 90 and fine. RSCP basic prediction set, I mean, it's based on the prediction of coverage by signal. EC by NOT is based on pilot quality analysis, and overlapping is based on overlapping zones. Reconfiguration, fine. Okay. To save the setup, we can go for the option of create setup, or to run it immediately, we can choose run. It takes a while. Here we have four different tabs, which the first tab shows the graph, the iterations with respect to the quality or target of optimization received, and the changes, the number of changes, and here we have the different parameters, and if they change, the change is shown in this graph, and here we have the quality of how much variation could be achieved by the optimization. Fine. And objectives, here we can see the initial coverage and final coverage. Yeah, we can see the improvement of coverage in these areas, right? Here we can see the improvement of coverage. Yeah, small lines. Yeah, the brown one represents the UMTS RSCP coverage, and the somewhat yellowish one represents UMTS EC I naught coverage. The improvement in the coverage. Yeah, we can view the changes with respect to time. Yeah. Here we can see the improvement of UMTS when compared to the initial status. Fine. The green color represents the success of improvement or optimization, while the blue represents the fail. Yeah, only we can find a dot or more here. Fine. While some portions are left uncovered or couldn't be covered even after the improvement or optimization. Yeah, let us wait if we can succeed in covering them. Yeah, here we can look at the changes which are required for the network or the for the network optimization. The red color represents the power optimization or power change, while the green represents electrical tilt, yellow mechanical tilt, blue site added, while the pink, dark pink is site removed and the light pink is sector removed, while the antenna pattern or antenna change is of blue. We can see the RSCP coverage constantly moving or changing at the level of 90%, while the EC by I naught touched the mark of 100%. We can at any moment pause the optimization or just stop optimizing and move to the finalization and tuning process. Since the coverage which is optimum for an area is achieved, I want to stop this optimization. Yeah. The next one is the tuning stage. Fine. We can view the results of the optimization properties. Yeah. Here we can see the sites which are removed, and the green color represents the reconfiguration of the site. Fine. Here we can see the objective achievement. The initial coverage zone was 35.61%, while the final one was 90.14%. We can also see the improvement of the coverage or UMTS EC by I naught value. For the initial it was 47.10%, and by the optimization we could improve it by 99.85% too actually. Then we can here look at the graph in detail. The quality and change details. By committing, we are removing and reconfiguring the sites which are listed here. Yeah, we can see the changes here. We can also roll back to initial state at whenever we want to. Fine. Okay. Then finally, these are the transmitters or base stations which are required to cover this area in an enough manner. Fine. This was the initial pilot quality analysis prediction. Then to again predict it, we need to first calculate the path loss matrices. Since we made changes to the transmitters, we need to again calculate the path loss matrices. Fine. Then we calculate it. Fine. First we view the initial one. If we calculate, yeah, this is the improvement. We can see most of the areas covered in green and red. Fine. Then overlapping zones. In the initial it was the prediction. Fine. After the optimization, this is the thing which we could do. Fine. Yeah. Then this is the